Happy rails to you. Welcome back, my friends. Happy rails to you. Please keep watching in. Happy rails to you. It's good to see you again. Hey, welcome back, everyone. It's G-Man, My World 67. Well, do a little part one, an update on the Milwaukee 1700 that I was doing. I've started work on the cars. I'm about to head towards the finish line on them. I've got them repainted, as you can see. And I'm putting the red striping on them by hand. And I'm about to finish this one up. I've got the black outline on it. And doing this side. And I'm about to put on the red striping. And to do that, I'm using this red permanent marker. Has not a real fine tip, but it has a medium tip, I guess you would call it. It works great. After I get the lines on these, I'll show you this one. Then they'll go in the oven for 15 minutes. And this paint is still fairly fresh too. They've been painted a couple hours ago. And so we'll put the lines on them. And the purpose of that, they're dry, but they're not completely dry. And so that's a good time to put your lines on them while the paint is still able to suck up some of the red marker. That way it adheres and it stays in place. Then it really becomes indelible unless you use something to remove it. Okay, let me set this camera up and I'll show you the process. Now I hope you can see this. But as I said, I've already put the black outline on there. And we just take the marker you don't have to spend a lot of time with it. Since you're working with a raised surface, it's actually pretty simple. If you take your time, sometimes I get a little rushed. And just follow that raised surface. Just stay on it as best you can. And see, made a mist bobble right there. It's because it's better. It's the angle that I'm holding it at so that you can see it with the camera. going to keep your tip pretty much on the surface that you're trying to cover. As I did here and here, I went up and off of it just a little bit over the edge. You usually want to angle down on it. And as I said, the angle that I'm holding the car so that you can see makes it a little harder for me to drop my hand down. So bring it over here to the edge. I hope you can still see it, where I can get my hand a little lower. And this works great. Now this is just another method that I use. You can use paint, you can use striping, whatever method you have or you like best to use. And then we'll touch that red up later. And so we have these two stripes. And then there's this stripe that goes right here. Now this one's kind of hard. Because you can't get the really the best angle to do it. And your line is actually below your raised surface and not on it. So it makes it a little bit more difficult. And of course, it's not completely straight. But time you go back and you touch it up a little bit, it will look pretty good. Now, when you're using these permanent markers, you have to rotate your tip. So as I said, two hours, your paint is pretty much dry. But it's not completely set. So it's still soft. And when you're rubbing something against it, especially something that has any type of chemical base, you're going to have that problem. It's going to pick up a little bit of the paint and try to dry the marker out in that area. But all you have to do is rotate your marker, and your marker will still be good. Okay, now we go around the windows.